Welcome back to the show. We now spend some time with top-class surfers as they explain the significance of the barrel.
Well, a tube is the spinning cylinder that a wave makes when it hits a shallow enough body of, ocean surface. And some universal, alchemy in there that whatever it is, you end up feeling insane after you get one.
Well, when you're dropping in and you know that you're behind the section and it's gonna barrel, right away your heart starts pounding.
I dream about it. I used to draw it in my school books. I used to just, watch slow-mo surf videos.
The holy grail, really, isn't it? Surfing, getting spat out of a big tube. It's like being reborn again.
Well, when surfing a barrel, it's just like being on another planet. You're in a void. You're in a vacant space, basically.
Getting the perfect barrel is just, it's just what I live for, really.
Your toes, your fingers, everything you hang on with, going to the bowl inside section, it's just gnarly.
Driving, pumping through that thing and wanting to just get out of there, and as soon as you're out, you're like the biggest adrenaline rush, such a rush. That's it, that's the pinnacle of surfing.
My name's Gary Kong Elkerton. I used to be a professional surfer for many years. Had the privilege of finishing 3 times #2 in the world, winning the Masters 3 years in a row, the World Masters Championships, and the first non-Hawaiian ever to win a Triple Crown, and I won 2 of those, so wrapped, yeah. A lot of young kids all want to go to Hawaii, and now is obviously everyone wants to prove themselves there. There's only one pipeline. There's one Chopu and there's one Sunset, but pipe is just very unique, very intense. And, I don't surf pipe anymore because it's too crowded. There's a million cameras on the beach and everybody wants to get their photo. And I was trying to say this year they should just let the guys who have won pipe, just let us go out and just have an hour on our own for the contest. That would be really cool. Pipeline is just, well, people die there. First of all, there's been quite a few that have died there, and I've lost a lot of bark there at Backdoor and at Pipe and been pushed down in the holes. And anyone that surfed Pipeline over amount of time, you just are going to have a running with the bottom. It's just what it is. But those days you walk down the beach at Pipe and it's just that clean west swell there. That's the west. It's got many faces, Pipe, but that west clean swell that hits at off the wall and just absolutely just rifles down Pipe Reef is just phenomenal. It's just amazing at 6 to 8 feet, and then you've got the second and the third reef that come into play when it gets a little bit bigger and it stands up, and then it makes it even more intense on the inside again, and it gets a bit bigger, and then you're trying to go out to the second reef, you can't quite get it, so by that stage, that inside section of Pipe is just, it's upside down takeoff stuff, it's just radical. It's a really intense barrel, that one. When you're on the foam ball, it's the most intense of all, I would say, for tube riding. And then it shows another face where you get the west and the north, and that's when Backdoor starts to come in, and it's quite funny, when I first started competing at the Pipe Masters, they wouldn't even look at backdoor, the judges, you know, and I would come in and go, it's actually heavier to go backdoor than it is. So now it's kind of judged equally. Tom Carroll's still the best frontside surfer I've ever seen at pipe. I don't think anyone's come close to him, even now, even any of the young kids. There's no one that day that he did that big hack out of the top, that's never been repeated by anyone, even on their 510s. So, yeah, Tommy and, you know, obviously Derek Ho and Marvin Foster and Ronnie Burns was amazing at Pipeline. Always Lopez and Roy Russell and Jeff Crawford, Larry Blair, and all those sort of guys before me. And there's more, there's Rabbit, you know, and there's Sean, there's Emma, and there's all those guys that I took a bit from what they were doing.
I think there's only one way to describe Pipeline, and that's terrifying. I mean, I'm really afraid every time I go out and surf it. I think what surfing Pipeline is all about is conquering the fear that you've got of the place.
What the new kids are doing now on shortboards, I don't know what to say. I'm speechless, I really am. I can't get my head around paddling into pipe on a 6'2" at 10 feet. I just can't. It scares me thinking about it. Brucey Irons is amazing out there. Andy was too, you know, obviously Kelly. My favourite surfer right now is John. And again, lives on the beach, surfs it every day, day in, day out. And that's proof that you really need to spend time in Hawaii to get it.
Standing in this bar, staring out the window.
We all went to Bali to surf the tube, you know. It wasn't about doing, you know, hitting the lip or cutbacks. It was about tube riding, you know. You went to Bali to spend time in the tube and that was just, there was a lot of that. You know, there was a lot of that at Ulus and Padang and down at Bingen. It was very uncrowded back then. I mean, I wish I could have seen it in the early 70s, but I got to taste that last bit of the uniqueness about Bali, which is lost now.
Yeah, the Mentawais brings people up here because surfers are always chasing adventure, new waves, and you know, it's warm water, it's tropical. We're all drawn to that.
I think my first proper barrel would have had to have been at home on the coast, Foresters, my favourite wave, Banzai. It's such an exciting feeling. From there, and you're just hooked on it. Things could change. By the looks on the swell charts, it looks like there's a swell coming. So hopefully we're going to get what we see.
Our boat's the Nyada. It's just a little old fishing, Indonesian fishing boat, I believe it used to be, but it's pretty cool. It's because a lot of the other big boats, you know, you got 10, 12 guys, and you know, draws a big crew.
Yeah, we've been cruising around for over a week now on this vessel, around about 7 knots, a couple of 100 kilometres we've travelled.
The best thing about this trip really is just being out there, just sharing some good times with the lads, just drinking beers and cruising around, relaxing, no worries in the world, just get away from the whole rat race thing and just forget about what's going on at home and, yeah, just kick back and soak it all up.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, all our surfs have been so crowded by, you know, half a dozen boats. This morning, we turned up at HT's and we're the only boat. And it was offshore.
Trees become cities from bones. We all stand alone and let these fools enthrone.
The waves, they're just, I don't know, just the contour of the reef, the coral reefs, it just makes the waves so perfect and it's just so clean. Normally you get the really light winds up here and HT's as a wave, like once it gets solid, it just comes in off the outside bubble and it'll roll through and then it hits like a double up bit and then runs through onto the cage and it's just a super round and, yeah, pretty intense ride. One of the heavier waves up in the Mentawais that you can score when it's on.
You can see the colours drawing off the reef. It'll be all nice and blue, and you know you can just it's like a hum almost. Like you can hear the lip, you know, cracking, and my hair sometimes just, you know, flows around in there. You're on the foam bowl, and when it spits, you know, mist past you. It's just all so much going on in such a little confined space, and then when you come out, it's, I don't know. I've been told there's like a lot of positive and negative ions get created inside the tube. I reckon it's a little secret fountain of youth that we've tapped into. It's pretty sick.
We'll have more barrel action in next week's show, but after the break it's sailing from Portugal. See you in a couple of minutes.